Hello, Hayden. My name is Sean Everett. I'm the website analysis expert at Zucore Marketing in San Antonio. Thank you for talking with Eric. He sent your website information on to me for analysis, and that is what this video is. I am going to give you an analysis of your site, and largely, I'm going to show you how these folks at Garage Living are beating you online. And I'm going to give you some tips that you can put into practice right away and so that you can turn the tables because you can do better and your website is not living up to the potential that it could. And you clearly paid money for it. It's a great website. I mean, there is no issues with what you have going on here. It is just beautiful. And it's very clear the sorts of services you offer and the sorts of areas that you service. It's really great, but it is underperforming for you. So let's get right into it. First thing is I have a tool that I use. It's called Ahrefs, and it shows me the metrics of your site and how it's been performing over the last couple of months. Now, the next thing I do is I go and do a regular old Google search, in this case for Phoenix, Arizona garage interiors. And the reason I do that is because Google is responsible for 96% of the traffic on the internet, more or less, somewhere in that region, which is way more than many other companies have a domination over their field. 96%. And that means they have 96% of the say over who comes and goes from your site, too. So they are, in fact, very powerful, but they're not really making a decision. What they're doing is they are trying to satisfy their search customers, and they do so by having developed an algorithm. And this algorithm of theirs determines not only the placement of everything on the site, but how it's going to send their search customers there. Now, there are only three things that the algorithm is looking for, basically. And I'm going to show you what those are in the course of explaining this Google search. So you can understand what the three things are that your website needs to do that it is currently not doing. Now, first up is this Garage Living. They are the very first folks that I find here on the internet. And they are here, obviously. I showed you them before. Now, this is what we call an organic result. Now, you are right here, so it's not like you're that far down, but the number one spot really, really does make a difference. Now, another area to be in that would also make a difference for you would be here. This is what we call the map pack, and this is sort of the first thing that Google wants you to do in order to sort of join the fold, if you will. And that is fill out a Google business profile. Now, that's like any other online profile. It's going to ask you a bunch of questions about your business. And these folks here were rewarded with this prime spot because they filled it out with a great precision and with great care. Or perhaps they had an expert do it, somebody with experience fill it out, because the goal would be to get up here. And you can tell, for instance, these folks here, they have a portion of one of their reviews from the Google review. Now, underneath that and above that is what we call the organic search results. And that's where I found you two. They at the number one spot and you at number two. I would like to see you also here in the map pack because this is different. Google treats it differently than the organic search results. Now, the organic search results are only organic in the sense that you don't have to do anything additional in order to be in a Google search result. You just have to have a website. So, but the one thing that you do want to do is appease the algorithm. So the first thing I'm going to show you is about content. Now, content is something that is king at Google because content is the only way that they can judge a site. And in this case, what they do is they judge it with words. You have 900 words on your web page, and your competitor here has, let's see here, 261. Now, generally, you would win in this competition. And this might be one of the reasons that you are actually so close to the top, but you don't have 1,500 words on your homepage, which is exactly the number that Google would like you to have. Now, all words are not the same, and that's one of the areas I'd like to bring to your attention. This is sort of the second thing that Google is wanting. They want words, they want content, and they want keywords. Now, you have 110 keywords on your website, and that is a great start. Keywords are words that come from your industry, they come from your and your competitors' websites, they come from Google searches, and they come from the communities that you work in. And Google collects all those things and stores them, and over time, it begins to make a judgment based upon these things. Now, these keywords, Google expects you to have them because they are part of your industry. It's what differentiates you from a dairy farm in Wisconsin, and it's also what differentiates you from your competitors. Now, this is your competitors and the same tool. They have 25,300 keywords. Now, that is an awful lot, but on the plus side of it, they have 42 locations nationwide. So I'm going to guess that a portion of these are coming from other locations where they also have a presence. But I'm going to also show you what their keywords are. And now we're going to ignore anything that has Garage Home in it, their name. And we're also going to ignore anything that has a different city in it. But these are the sorts of things that people are searching for. These are what we call the keywords. It's more like a key phrase, as you can see. Now, the algorithm does not know our language. So it doesn't know singular and plural. It doesn't know that words are related. It doesn't, spend the time to make any sort of assessment about things. It just looks for what it looks for in whatever order it originally came in. So best garage floor coating is probably going to be down here somewhere else in a different order. And that's because it came up in a different order on a different website. And it was popular enough as a phrase that Google remembered it. But it's going to remember it both ways. So it's looking for all sorts of things. Polyasperic versus epoxy. What is a garage-ready refrigerator? Garage fan ideas. So as you can see, custom garage cabinets. These are all things from your industry. And having these appear, naturally in your website would be ideal. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you are backlinks. Backlinks is where your site appears on somebody else's site. There is a link to your site on somebody else's site, like say Yelp or yellowpages.com. That would have a link back to your site. So they call that a backlink. You have 89 referring domains currently. That is a good number. This number here should only be about 2 or 3 times what this number is. So you may need some help sort of reducing your spammy backlinks and replacing them with better backlinks. But here's what your competitor has. You have 89 referring domains and they have 4,800. Now I'm going to show you what their referring domains are. Now we want to keep your referring domains in the domain rating of say 70 and above, more or less. There are going to be some local ones that you want that are not going to be rated that high. This domain rating shows the strength of a domain's backlink profile, meaning, for instance, your backlink profile is 20, which is great for a company of your size. And for Bing, it's 93 because a lot of other sites refer to Bing. There is a link to Bing on 646,830 different websites. So you can see the numbers here. And what is the reason for these? The reason is that Google doesn't have the time to vet the site themselves. What they need to do is rely on other people for that information. And the only way that they can rely on other people is by seeing how many links go to a particular site. They figure if enough links exist, that must make the place enjoyable to go to, desirable to be at. So they're going to send their search customers there. Then that is the third thing that the algorithm is looking for, backlinks. Now, a bunch of these you can get on yourself, like expertise.com, Yellow Pages, just like filling out the Google business profile. Dunn Street and Bradley, I think that's what that one is. And they have a way to get onto there. You don't have to be a multi-million-dollar corporation to get into their search results. It's very easy. So there are a lot of opportunities for you here. Porch.com, This Old House, and so on. Now, this is what it all comes down to. Last month, your traffic was 22 visits. That is like a little less than one person a day, like one person for 20 days and then no one. And that's up 3 from the month before. So that's a nice trend. Here's what your competitor had. 38,500. Now, as I mentioned, they are in 42 different locations around the country. So all of these are not from Phoenix. And I can't tell you how many came from Phoenix. But what I can tell you is that the value of what they're bringing in is greater than what you're bringing in. I mean, even if I divide this number by 42, it's going to be well above your 22. And whatever the percentage is of people who visit a site and then become paying customers, I do not know what that ratio is either. But whatever the ratio is, it is larger than what 22 is. So in short, what I'd like to propose to you is that you need to go back and fill in a Google business profile. Then you need to get more and better keywords and more and better backlinks. Now look, see, you're not that far from the top. And that just goes to show you the strength of being on the top. People really believe that Google is a list of the best to the worst. So, and that is completely and utterly wrong. It is false, but you can't, force what people think. So, Hayden, anyway, I just want to thank you for sticking with me. And I know that Eric is going to be calling you back to get your feedback about this video, see what you think about it. Thanks for sticking with me and have a great rest of your day.